Hello and welcome to the Car Kernel channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys some more dealership stories. Stories that you typically will not see on the internet. Stories from the inside out. As a Toyota technician working full-time at a Toyota dealership, we see all kinds of things at the dealership. And I did a similar video. I will leave the link for it right here. And per my awesome viewers' request, this is part 2 with some more stories. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. If you're a returning subscriber, well, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first one I'm going to call Snake Prius. This was all the way back in 2012, 2013-ish. Here comes a brand new third generation Prius. Comes into the service drive and the customer comes out and says the following: I have a snake and I buy small mice to feed my snake. Okay, is everything okay with the car? Well, I was transporting my mice to take in the cage to take them to feed my snake, and the cage opened and one of the mice escaped and is somewhere inside the car. The service advisor just looked at him and is like, I don't know what you want us to do here. Call the manager. Well, the manager said, we can't really do anything. Let's do this. Let's park the car outside. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's leave it there for an hour. Or open all 4 doors and the back door, and maybe the mouse will just come out. So we left it, look inside the car. We don't hear any noises, we don't see any movement. We checked some spots under the seats, all over the car, simple stuff. And it's like, well, can't find anything. And we suggested to the customer to do the same, open the doors, maybe if it's still somewhere in the car, it'll leave. Well, customer said, okay, got in the car and left. But it doesn't end there. I don't remember if it was 2-3 weeks later. Customer comes in, and this was right now, seeing somebody with a mask is a normal thing because of the pandemic. But back then, customer comes into the service drive again in the same car with a mask. Like, comes out of the car, takes the mask, and he's like, oh my God, my car reeks. It smells really bad, because now that mouse, I guess, didn't escape, and it passed away, if you would. And it's somewhere in the car, and now it smells. Well, we told the customer, what do you want us to do? We have to tear the whole interior apart? Here's this brand new car that we have to, the thing was a couple thousand miles on the car maybe. And here we are tearing into the car, but luckily we were heading towards pulling the dash out and see, there's nowhere else really where it would be. And luckily, within the first hour, we pull the center console, and here is the deceased mouse, if you would. That was kind of an interesting thing. And how do you quote labor for that? We actually quoted him flat time, and it ended up being like an hour or 2 just to tear things and clean it up. That was don't carry your snake food in the car, and please don't bring your car if you have a loose snake in the car. That's not cool. So the multi-point inspection. You come in the dealership. Every dealership is required by Toyota to do a multi-point inspection, which is fine. Check all the fluids, check everything, look the car over, fill out a little report. Well, this was actually a recent one, and the lady comes in with essentially a brand new car for a 5,000 mile service, and the car had like 900 miles or so, less than 1,000 miles. That's typical by time they come in for the service. Well, lady comes in for the service. Service is done. Life's good. Car is washed. Parked outside. Ma'am, your car is ready. Okay. Lady gets in the car, drives, turns around, comes right back, yelling, screaming, top of her voice. You guys did not do your job. You guys failed me. I trusted you. I this and that. I am a good customer. It's like, okay. Typically, when a customer takes a car and comes right back with it, it's a frenzy at a dealership because we messed up royally at that point. Like, what happened that they're that upset? And this is a brand new car, so it's like, what's going on here? She said, you checked all my fluids, but my fuel light is on and you didn't tell me about it. So the advisor was like, okay, well, is there a problem? Did you just fill up the car and the light is still on? I mean, things happen, could be a problem. No. My car has low fuel, but you didn't write in the multi-point inspection that my fuel light is on and I should refuel. Ma'am, that is for you as a driver. It's like we did not tell you to put on your seatbelt. That's part of driving a car. You should know that. She got very upset. She started yelling, screaming. You told me you checked all the fluids and you didn't. The fuel is a fluid. Okay, at this point, the manager was like, ma'am, you are reaching here. Could you please be on your way? Gas station is across the street. Go fill your car and have a wonderful day. Does it end there? It usually does not with situations like that. She opens a case with Toyota demanding that the fuel level is added to the multi-point inspection. And I think this is a problem with whoever gave her the driver's license. How can you expect a mechanic to tell you your car is running out of fuel when there is a gauge that says empty, light? I don't know what she was trying to get out of this, but she made a case, and Toyota, of course, has to follow up with the case, investigate and see, and all it is she's trying to get something. And I just, what do you think about this? Leave a comment below. I mean, do we as mechanics have to tell you that your car is low in fuel and you need to refuel, or you as a driver should see that? I don't know, I could be wrong, but you let me know in the comments. So the Highlander is not ready. Customer comes in the service drive, out-of-state license plate, 2007 Highlander Hybrid. Gentleman comes out of the car and says, my ready light is on. I am concerned. I am from out of state, traveling far away, yada yada. That's okay. Sir, that's normal. In Toyota hybrids, for those that are not aware of this, Toyota hybrids, because when you start the car, the engine not necessarily will come on. So there's a little light, just says ready. It just lets you know that the car is actually running and the engine could come on at any time. They were worried about people parking them in the garage, putting it in park and leave it running because the engine is off. And then the engine comes off, suffocation, all that. So they did that from the day one, and it was a great idea. However, this customer says, I'm concerned because it's on. Well, sir, that is normal. We explain all this to him. No, I'm still, okay. You know what? We understand. If I was traveling out of state, I'd be worried, and I knew nothing about cars, which at this point I can assume that. I would be concerned. Let's give you peace of mind. Let's bring the car in, check tires, brakes, check all the fluids, make sure everything is perfect so you can continue your trip and we would be at good conscience. Pull the car in. I opened the hood, and I worked on this car. I opened the hood and there's no coolant. Not in the reservoir, not in the radiator, nowhere. We're talking about the engine coolant. Well, I look around, the radiator is leaking pretty bad. The water pump, this is a timing belt engine, the water pump is leaking pretty bad. And the tires are horrible. They're worn down, they're dry rotten. So I'm like, okay, well, these are safety items. We're not talking about, oh, let's go clean this, clean that. No, important stuff. I write it down, get an estimate, take it to the advisor. As soon as the advisor mentions this stuff, the customer goes ballistic. You guys are trying to take advantage of me. You're trying to do this. I just came for my ready light. Okay, sir, we let you know this stuff. You want to fix it or not, that's up to you. But your ready light is normal. I have owned this car since 2007. I have never seen that light in my life. Okay, sir, that's okay. We're trying here. We try, but at some point it's pointless. Do you have your owner's manual, sir? No. Okay. Through Toyota system, we can pull up the owner's manual for your model. We pull it up the computer, print it out. Sir, here is not us, the people that made the car, telling you what the ready light is and what it means. Oh, you guys just printed this. And he goes ballistic even more, starts swearing, starts yelling and screaming, and it got to a point, it's like, sir, we're trying to help you here. So guess what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna fill your car with coolant, you're gonna take your car and you're gonna leave. Because I don't know what else you want to say. We're telling you there's no problem with what you're complaining about. But by the way, before you went on this trip, you need tires. You need to fix your coolant leaks, which are pretty big. And last but not least, the $4,000 brake job. $4,000. But no, this is not some dealer ripoff, whatever. Hear me out on this one. Customer comes in, 2011 Camry. Nothing out of the ordinary, comes in for an oil change, sure. Junior mechanic takes the car, puts it up in the air, just like we talked about the multi-point inspection. Does the inspection, well, the car needs rear brakes. What's the measurement? 2 to 3 millimeters. By the way, that's the typical where dealerships recommend brakes. Yes, you can wait till 1 millimeter, but dealerships are liable for what they do, so they typically recommend it between 2 to 3 millimeters, that this is recommended for replacement, not required. It's up to you as a customer. The customer says, nah, my brakes are perfectly fine. I think you guys are just over-exaggerating. Okay, duly noted. We're going to note it in your report. Have a nice day. Car comes back 5,000 miles later for the next oil change. As soon as he pulls on the drive, the service advisor hears the brakes grinding metal to metal. And for those that are not familiar, brake pads, they have a little metal piece, brake material, rotor. That's how they break. Well, when your brake material is all completely gone, now you have the backing plate of the brake pad contacting the rotor. That's dangerous. And that's what was happening with this car. All right, sir, as soon as he gets out, the advisor already pulled the information in the car. Sir, I know last time we told you need brakes, but now they are in the danger zone. You really need to get them done, and the price just went up that we estimated you last time, because now you need rotors because you chewed up the rotors. They're beyond repair. No, just do the oil change. Okay, sir, well, at this point you need to sign a waiver that we informed you that your brakes are unsafe, so you wouldn't sue us later when there's an accident because the brakes failed because we were the last mechanic that worked on the car. Yeah. Okay, does it end there? It absolutely does not. Car comes in a few months later, few months. On a tow truck, absolutely no brakes, nothing. It got so bad that the metal, the little backing plate of the pad completely wore off, and now the caliper came out, and the caliper piston came out and contacted the rotor. Now, for those that are not familiar, there's a little caliper, has a little piston that pushes the pads, and that's how you brake. Well, when the pad's gone, now the piston comes out and hits the rotor. The caliper piston was completely worn down to nothing. Nothing until all the hydraulic fluid leaked, and now this is one side. The other side, the pad was gone and didn't leak fluid, but it started grinding into the caliper. Why? But here's the best part. Now you need pads, rotors, calipers in the back, and a master cylinder, because now we try to pinch the lines in the back, fill it up with fluid to bleed it, see how everything is. Master cylinder doesn't do anything. There's no pressure because it ran dry. That's what happens with master cylinders when you run them dry of fluid. So you need all that. Guess what the guy did when we told him? We expected him to say, you're out of your mind, I'm leaving, because now we're talking a lot of money. He said, yes, without flinching. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, put everything in the car. Pedal's still soft because the ABS module now is gone. The ABS unit is gone. That's alone is like $2,000, $2,500. Well, we tell the customer, again, doesn't flinch. Just says, yep, go ahead and fix it. I just fixed the car. I don't understand. Am I misunderstanding something here? Or because you're gonna have your car and your wife's car's brake jobs added together in all their life. They're not gonna add up to what you just spent on this when we were telling you. I don't understand the logic. If you do, please enlighten me. But I don't see that logic. I would have thought when the second time he comes in, sir, your brakes are dangerous. We gave you a price and you think this is a ridiculous price. We'll take you somewhere else and get it fixed. This is safety. This is serious. But I don't know, folks. This kind of made me wonder what was going on in their mind. So, folks, here are the stories of the day. I hope you liked them. And once more, I will ask you, if you would like me to continue to do those stories every month, every 2 months, I'll share with you, because the stories are endless in the dealership land, and we could keep going for years on the stories. I kid you not. I hope you liked this video. I hope potentially not learn something new, but just seeing what happens in a day-to-day operation at a dealership. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other potentially more useful videos. Until the next video, guys, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have a wonderful day.